Hi, in this video I am going to show you some of my earliest games. They are simple because I was very early in the process of learning how to code. The first game you will see is Cube Select. The object of this game is to move the black square around to collect the colored squares. Once a colored square is collected, it will move to the collection area located at the bottom of the screen. Although the difficulty of this game does increase, it is still very easy. Walls pop up and disappear as boxes are collected. The player must maneuver around the new walls to get the other boxes. You may have noticed at the beginning of the game that the keys to use were displayed. As this was one of my first few games to make, I was naive. I loved playing games, but very few, if any, were on the computer. I put the usable keys as W, A, S, and Z. Yes, I said Z. And to my dismay, this is a very awkward setup. On a positive note, by the time I made this game, I had figured out how to add in the arrow keys. If I would have looked at those and thought about it, I might have realized that the WASD configuration was much better. The second game is Letter Former. This is a much shorter game. There is not an end objective to this one. The purpose of this was to simply entertain a child and possibly teach him or her the alphabet. It also teaches the child where the letters are on the keyboard. The player presses and holds a letter on the keyboard and all of the dots come together to form that letter. If the dots are already in the center, they simply reorganize themselves into the next letter. This is unless they are in a multiple of 3 away from the current letter. If this is true, the dots all return to their original position and come back to the center. The third and final game for this video is Picture Pop. This game also focuses on the alphabet. As the letter is pressed, it starts to fall down the screen. When the letter exits the screen, a section of the picture in the background changes. Several runs through the alphabet will finish the picture and tell the player, "Good job." I started teaching myself how to code back in 2011. I wanted to start in 2010, however my computer was going out on me and I had to wait until I could get a new one. While I waited, I did research on what language and program I wanted to use. I knew I wanted to program games, so I looked at available engines. The ones I found were very expensive, so I settled on creating games from scratch. I decided to use C++ with Visual Studios. When I did finally get a new computer, I also purchased a couple books on programming in C++. It was slow going, and I did many online searches to figure out what I was doing wrong. But I continued to learn. Soon I was able to make these 3 games. They are all made in Visual Studios using C++ and OpenGL. Today, I am still making games as a hobby and loving every minute of it. Maybe one of these days I will produce a game to sell, but for now, this remains a hobby. However, with that said, if you are interested in checking out some of my other game attempts, they can be found on itch.io. Most of these games were made for game jams and are not complete games. If you decide to check out these games, I hope you enjoy them. Again, that is itch.io under the user Amadev Designs. Thank you for for watching this video.